Okay, so now that we have gone over the results, we're going to go over what those results mean. So, hitting this next question, does Minnie meet eligibility criteria under the categories of specific learning disability, which is SLD, or other health impairment, OHI? So, for specific learning disability, we looked at this category using the PSW approach. And there are 4 steps to doing that. So the first step is that she exhibits a pattern of cognitive and processing traits that are indicated by a pattern of abilities in the average or above average range. So what that means is that in order for a student to qualify, they first need to have average abilities. Minnie does have a wide range of cognitive processing strengths, including crystallized intelligence, visual processing, fluid reasoning, long-term and short-term retrieval, and auditory processing. So she does have a nice average profile. So she does meet that criteria. The second criteria is that she has one or more academic weakness. And she does not have an academic weakness. So when I was going over those academic results, if you notice, all of her areas were strengths. So she does not meet that criteria. The third criteria is that she exhibits a cognitive processing weakness, which is identified as related to that area of academic weakness. So if she did have an area of academic weakness, we would want to see a processing weakness that is related to that academic area. And she does have a weakness in processing speed, but again, that score might be underrepresented because of her behaviors during testing. Regardless, it doesn't really matter since she didn't have that academic weakness. And then the fourth was that she requires special education to access the core curriculum. And based on this assessment, Minnie does not require special education to access that core curriculum. So, does she meet eligibility criteria for SLD using the PSW approach? She does not. The next area that we were looking at was other health impairment. Other health impairment, the first area that she has to qualify for is if she needs help due to a chronic or acute health problem. So, such as asthma, ADHD, diabetes, epilepsy, leukemia, anything like that, or Tourette syndrome. So, Minnie does have a medical condition, Tourette syndrome, that she has been diagnosed with. However, at this time, which is B, right? If it adversely affects her educational performance. So at this time, it is not adversely affecting her performance. So that last question, right? If eligible, does Minnie Mouse require special education services in order to make academic, behavioral, and social progress? She does not. She does not have a profile consistent with special education. So all that to say is we did see some behaviors that were in that at-risk range, and we did see some areas of concern that we would want to follow up on and that we want to kind of build some interventions now to hope that they don't get worse in the future. So I would recommend, and this, this IEP process is a team process, so we can talk about it as a team, but I would want to recommend that Minnie would benefit from a 504 plan. So to kind of have these following recommendations. So we want to do a planned ignoring of her tics. We want to do some preferential seating, so away from distractions, windows, or students who are distracting. We want to provide movements, opportunity for movements. For Minnie, we want to give her some extended time as needed on tests or assignments to kind of accommodate for some of her impulsive behaviors. We want to prepare visual aids. If you remember, her visual processing was a strength and in the high range, so we want to work to that benefit. We want to allow fidgets, doodling, and breaks during instruction as long as it does not interfere with learning. We also want to gain her attention, so I had to repeat a lot of the directions, especially if they were long, in order to sustain her attention for a long period of time. So we want to make sure that we gain her attention prior to us giving those instructions. And then we also want to monitor her written work, considering some accommodations as needed, right? Because she has that tendency to be a little bit impulsive when she's doing written work and making very large marks on the paper or aggressive erasing, that kind of thing. So we want to monitor that. Some home-based recommendations that these mom and dad, these are for you guys. So let me see. All right, so kind of same thing, right? The request that you guys give Minnie should be in a single step format. Multiple step instruction should be avoided. So she can also benefit from when you do give her an instruction, have her repeat it back to you so that you make sure that what you told her to do was understood and there's no miscommunication there. She can also benefit from a visual schedule that allows her to know what's going to be expected. So people with TS can really benefit from having structure and a reliable schedule, something that she can look at and remember, okay, today I'm doing this, this, and this. And that can be fun. You can have her help you make a kind of little visual schedule for her to look at. She can also open or benefit from open family discussion regarding her tics and how her family will respond when they occur. So that way, she knows that you guys aren't ignoring her on purpose or that you aren't upset with her when she does these, but something needs to be in place so that she knows everyone is consistent with how they're behaving and reacting to her tics. In addition, there is a local support group in Sacramento, which is pretty close to here. And I provided the website here. It's a Tourette local chapter designated to help support the families of Tourette syndrome. And their website has PDF guides that you can download for free. So that was something that I wanted to offer you guys and let you know if you didn't know about it. Do you guys have any questions? I know that was a lot.